Welcome back, guys. I remain myself, Ivo. I spend enough time on social media and I think most of the time on TikTok. And I have seen a lot of videos whereby a lot of these Gen Zs and some of the millennials are actually, giving a wrong meaning to what we call feminism. Do you understand? So I think feminism to a layman in the simplest form is a movement that states that every restriction on every social, economic, and political restriction on the female child should be lifted. In other words, feminism is a movement that states equal rights, that fights for equal rights for both man and woman. Okay, so in the historical past, we have instances whereby women are not being heard, their voices don't count, their opinions don't count, their perspective. Then brings me back to the discussion whereby a lot of these Gen Zs are actually mixing the word feminism they are mixing the concept of feminism, the meaning of feminism, to chasing of frivolities. Chasing of frivolities in the sense that these people come online to set unrealistic standards. In the sense that some of the time they be like, I'm a beautiful lady, I'm endowed, I have a figure eight. Before a man can approach me, he must have a house, he must have this kind of thing, he must possess this kind of asset, he must have 2 cars and this and that. Setting unrealistic standards because they are just beautiful, because they are just a baby girl. And thereby mixing it with the thoughts, I don't know, something keeps telling them that they are actually feminist and they are fighting for the movement. But it is totally different. Feminism in its real self is states that, let me give you an instance. Let's assume that you are feminist. It simply means that in marriage, that is if you are married, it simply means that if the responsibility of the family should be split into 2, the man will take care of one part and the woman will take care of the other part. That is equality. That is where feminism comes in. That is what feminism is fighting for. Let's assume that you are on a date with a guy. What feminism is fighting for is that the guy can actually pay for his own meal while you pay for your own meal. Or the guy can actually pay for the bill on one occasion, then maybe some other time you should be able to pay for all the bill. That is by splitting of responsibility. That is by having equal rights in the society, in the community. That is what feminism is talking about. Feminists command respect. They have a lot of values to show for any standard they are setting. Do you understand? We have the likes of Chimamanda Adichie, and also there is one of her books that I always like to recommend. We Should All Be Feminists. She actually defined what feminism means. Then there is also Dr. Ochioma Osuji, Philosophy of Feminism. There is one particular quote I like about in the book, and it states that in the historical past, women are subjected to men as slaves. Then presently, a certain level of objectivity is obtainable. Then in the future, women will rule the world, a global climax of leadership everyone should imagine and wait for. These women are women of substance. They are women of virtue. Even if they set standards, they have values to back up whatever standards they set for themselves. And not just someone without anything to show for it, without even weighing up to the level of standards they are setting, and they want them to be treated right because they are just a baby girl. And don't get me wrong, I am not opposing the fact that you should set values, I mean, you should set standards for yourself. Of course, you can do that. And if you want to also has that, we have people who doesn't have values to show, then they set standards high and they are happily married or living the life they want. Yes, it is possible, but it's unfortunate that we have found ourselves in a society that uses anomaly to measure and validate normalcy. We are in a society that uses anomaly, abnormal things to measure the validity of normal things just because it favors us. It's just hypocrisy though. It's hypocrisy actually. But then it's unfortunate. But then there is no argument we want to put in place that would make it negate the general fact that this thing is not normal. There are exemptions, but exemptions does not negate the general fact. Thank you.